the Fanny will be placed.
Now I do have a question, right, for Argentina. Do they want to actually swap their sides here and opt to go for the red side, or do they want to stick to the blue side and this time just look to go for that ban earlier, right? Find that ban. It does seem like they are going to swap sides, though. Argentina now on the red side, prioritizing, again, the 2 picks. But you can see the Kaja ban already for Argentina. And for Indonesia, it's Diggy again.
So they switch sides, so they're forced to ban out Dead Joy. If things go that way, so we'll have to see.
That's 1 ban slot gone.
If they trade Fanny for the Joy, it's not that much better. So I'm wondering what the plan is. We'll have to see. Indonesia bans away the Faramis, very curiously enough. I didn't think that personally the Faramis was that big of an issue, but perhaps Indonesia has a different plan in mind. The Joy, as predicted, is banned away. So now it seems like Argentina is going to be forced to ban this Fanny unless they are willing to fight Indonesia on their own terms.
The Joy ban comes through, Arashi. They are not looking to trade it off. But like you mentioned, with the Joy ban now, with Argentina opting to go for the red side, it does give them a lot more heroes to actually look for to ban. Leomord, Martis, again, 2 heroes that so far we haven't seen this series, but can still definitely come up. Fanny, Valentina, Wanwan. There's so many bans that you can prioritize, that you can go for here. At this point, Argentina and Indonesia, it does feel like both of them just want to let everything go. Let's trade, you know? We'll ban Valentina, but we'll still leave all those heroes open, and it's now up to Argentina to decide whether they want to trade with Fanny, Wanwan. I think with the Fanny, like you mentioned, don't try to counter it, right? The Fanny's been banned every single game so far, even against other teams.
Yeah, not just Indonesia.
us.
It is a very, very strong hero. Mobility, dueling prowess, burst damage, speed. Fanny has so many attributes in her favor. Speed. And for Indonesia, they have that Valentina banned out, and I've been very surprised with how willing teams are to let go of that Valentina. It's been working out for a lot of teams, but Indonesia will have none of it. And with that Fanny ban, that means we're gonna see the Wan.
I'm a happy man. My hero finally coming up in IESF, because I was thinking I'm cursed, because every time you cast,
this is the second 1-1.
Exactly. When you and Momo-chan casted and the 1-1 was picked up, I was like, dang, I wanted to be the one who casted 1-1. Finally, I get a chance to. 1-1 picked up, first picked by Indonesia, but 1-1 is a hero that now has counterplay. You can actually counter it with a lot of movement, a lot of mobility. Argentina pick up a hero with mobility that can help other members as well with the utility. Mathilda pick up, but they can also just go for something. I think for the Irithel, it's a bit too early. They already see that.
Ooh!
There you go. Range as well becomes an answer.
And utility?
Slows, the utilities coming in, and obviously the damage that's just been adjusted.
Well, I'm a happy man. You already know I love myself some Yves.
So you're Team Argentina and I'm Team Indonesia based on our heroes.
Oh, hang on. Is this how it's going to be? I'll have to see for the draft. So far, I think Yves has a lot of potential, and combined with a movement, as you mentioned, Mirko, with the guiding winds, it allows Argentina to be very fluid with their approach to big team fights. But of course, Indonesia has something to say about that as well. If they get crowd control of their own, some dive, for example, I think they can still throw a wrench in the plans of Argentina. It will be a Lolita and a Beatrix? Oh, but sorry, a Benedetta. Both B, my bad.
Both B, both BE actually, right?
Ooh.
And here, it is also the Lolita pickup, like you mentioned, Arashi. Again, Lolita is a hero that can actually act as a counter as well towards the Wanwan. Now we'll find the crossbow attack, even the first ability, so that it does not hit that weakness point on the back. But Argentina now can just go for something like the Irithel, a hero that's super solid with the Electro Flash up against the Wanwan with the sprint as well, can usually shut the Wanwan down. But Argentina decide to opt for Judson's comfort pick. This is a hero we saw he was able to pop off on yesterday up against Slovenia, and they're trying to find that same success.
He will be trying to use the Hayabusa against a Wanwan though. A very slippery hero, a lot of mobility. Now we're already into the second banning phase. what will they ban away? Because for Argentina, it seems like speed is their go-to method of operation here. Indonesia has a lot more combos in the bag. They can go for the Electro Final Blow Petrify combo, followed up by a Numinant Blast, or vice versa. So I'm not quite sure. I think Indonesia will be trying to stop those big movements, and Argentina will be trying to deny any kind of disengage, and the Akai has been denied away from the hands of Indonesia.
Let's see, with the bans, Akai becomes the option for Argentina right now. And that's the Irithel, like we mentioned, a solid counter to the 1-1. I do feel like it might be a bit of a mistake from Argentina not to pick that Irithel earlier, because again, with that Irithel, it's almost a guaranteed winning lane in a 1v1. 1-1 is, oh man, if you bring Electro Flash and your sprint, you just can't lose. I've never been able to actually win out against an Irithel alone, right? You need help, and that's the thing. If Argentina picked it up, they could have actually created more pressure or opened up more for the other lanes.
And they can force Indonesia to try and do things differently as well. As you mentioned, being able to force your opponents to play the way you want them to is a big advantage. It allows you to predict, to counter, to plan, especially towards that mid game. So Argentina will not have that advantage, and they will ban away the Gushin as well. I wonder what Taz is going to come up with right here. No Gushin, no Fanny. If he comes out with a crazy assassin, he's going to go head-to-head against Jotun on that Hayabusa.
3 respect bans over to Taz right now. And Indonesia, honestly, at this point, might just go for another gold lane ban, right? They already have the Irithel ban. We saw Civ actually play a whole lot of heroes from today and even from yesterday against Slovenia. He went for the Bruno. We saw him on the Beatrix as well. And just now, again, he was on the Melissa. So he's played 3 different heroes in 3 different games. Indonesia might want to nullify that, might want to go for it right now with the Beatrix ban. There you go. That's exactly what they go for. Argentina, oh!
Whoa!
Shadow picking the Natan, which is a very interesting move. Natan is a hero we haven't seen in a long time in the gold lane, especially up against a 1-1 that can really bully you, up against a Lolita that can soak in everything you've got, even with that entropy. Well, it becomes a pick that is risky.
It's a bit of a mixed bag with Natan. A lot of mixed damage, right, with how he operates. And oh, he goes for he's
a better
the
hero,
shadow picks. We keep saying that this is not okay.
Haha.
It's moving around though. But let's go, Argentina. Make up your mind. We have to like comment on this.
No, keep on juking Arashi, just like Messi.
Let's just wait.
But here you go. I'm honestly just wishing for a Bruno here, but he does go for the Clint. If it's not the Irithel, another hero that does extremely well in lane up against the 1-1, it's that Clint, right? With the superior range and obviously the CC as well. Technically, the route that he has in his arsenal, it's just so good to go up against the 1-1 early on. But as we all know, Clint is very easy to pick off, and Indonesia are trying to punish that, hovering over that Selena to put some more kill pressure down. Remember, in 1v1, Clint wins, but it's never 1v1 in the gold lane anymore.
Exactly. And now with a Lolita, it's a very oppressive hero in the early game because you're actually tanky, but you're deceptively, you have a deceptive amount of damage. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a lot, but it is a lot. And yikes, it's going to be the Yutsong and the Lilia. So is this a jungle Benedetta?
It is a jungle, unless they pull off a jungle Yudzong. We saw it once before, not by Taz.
Phoveus is the attempt to counter from Argentina. But as we've mentioned before, I think, Phoveus isn't a hard counter for a 1-1. It can be a problem, especially if Phoveus is doing well. But otherwise, a 1-1 can absolutely outplay around that demonic force.
Both heroes that Argentina are trying to counter with the Phoveus, 1-1 and Benedetta, have counterplay to the Phoveus, right? The Benedetta can just time the dashes with the demonic force, and same for the 1-1. It's the same case. 1-1 can just dash out of that demonic force range when he pops it, right? You do get another proc, but if you're brought back to the base, it will not matter in the end. And that's the thing we've mentioned many times before. But Arashi, there is a catch. If Phoveus wins in the early stage, gets to a point where he actually does so much damage, before 1-1 gets the attack speed to be able to actually get herself outside of the demonic force range, Phoveus becomes an insane counter towards 1-1. It's almost unplayable as a 1-1. And I think right now, as we enter the Land of Dawn, we might see an interesting battle spell come out from Phoveus. I was expecting a Vengeance.
Oh.
Because usually, you need to go for that Vengeance if you are up against a 1-1 on the Phoveus in a losing lane like this. But it is not the Benedetta that he's up against, right? It is the Yuzong.
Exactly. Well, Yuzong is also a very oppressive hero in the laning phase. So we'll have to see that can Papadog actually get an advantage, and if he does have an advantage, right, it's still up to the rest of the team to enable, to try and catch out the players before the Phoveus in the hands of Papadog can actually make those crazy plays. So far though, it is a slow laning phase, and it will all depend on, I think, the jungler. So far we've seen that both these teams like taking it easy all the way till minute number 4, but in this game, it's a bit more scrapping going on.
Let's see, right now, Indonesia early on, already 1-1 actually. Winning out in the lane up against Clint right now, and Brad is actually able to get out. Wait! In the XP lane, it's a soul, no, it's a gank.
It's a gank
there,
from
2v1, Erwin taken very low. That's the Inspire popped in. Brands looking for that kill onto Erwin. Will not be able to find it, but it's a lot of damage, and that pressure has been alleviated off the other members. Dreams gets caught. That's going to be the shadow kill to pick up another 1-for-1. This time, Argentina with their comfort picks are doing better.
Argentina strikes back in the early game. Again, you can't take this team lightly. They are a serious contender in the tournament right now. Indonesia, they need to be a bit more careful, because if they let Yutun start snowballing, that can't be good for them as well. These squishier laners are going to be quite vulnerable, but I guess Brands will be the one that will be feeling the bulk of that aggression.
Indonesia, though, already first onto the neutral objective now. Picks it up. No contest from Argentina, as Jotun doesn't have that purple buff. Without the purple buff, Hayabusa is going to find it very difficult to contest or even to gank. So for Argentina, it does feel like their win condition is solely on getting the picks early on. They can't really go for the neutral objective control. Dreams there with a cheeky invade, looking for that steal. But Taz on this Demon Slayer Benedetta. I wonder if he's going to go damage or tank.
I think damage must be the way to go. He has that Demon Slayer emblem, so it's a interesting hero. Able to be built quite a few different ways, hybrid, tank, full damage. But right now, we keep talking about the lane management in game number 1. In game number 2 here, I think it's no different. Indonesia has so many wave clear tools to actually work around with. Psychots, Taz, as well as Hijime can all do that, but look at that aggression coming in, and they're not done yet.
Jotun able to maneuver himself out of that position, but now he's going to get caught in the stun. Doesn't have the shadow kill to play with here. The guy as well, but a Luminant Blast forces Erwin to pop that circling eagle, leaving Jotun behind for Indonesia to take. Erwin trying to dish out damage back, but again, it's Indonesia that it really feels like Indonesia has Argentina's number in the rotation game.
You can see how they can just have such a good read on Argentina, because Dreams, he charged the Luminant Blast preemptively towards the top side, so they are a few steps ahead in these very messy skirmish engagements. And I think Taz is waiting. He's trying to try and steal that purple buff. Does he have backup though? That's the main question.
He's all alone here. He's still looking for that retribution battle, but decides to back off. Using Eye for an Eye to get out of the circling eagle. Meanwhile, in the XP lane, Hijime and Psychots finds a kill. That's the second kill over to Papadog, who's not having a blast on this Phoveus in that XP lane, Arashi. We mentioned it, up against the Yuzong. It's going to be really difficult to lane, especially with the ganks that's constantly just being placed by Indonesia.
Not only are they having a Phoveus fall behind, they're having Psychots on the Yuzong, just absolutely wrecking it in that EXP lane. That can't be good, as the Indonesians are pushing the aggression, and look at that.
Real world manipulation popped in. Jotun looking for an opening as Hijime jumps back to the black shoes, but it's going to be caught by Jotun, who was very patiently waiting. They're going to blast onto Civ and on towards Erwin as that's the crossbow attack opened up. Erwin taken low, still able to survive, but with Civ down, this means that not only is Indonesia winning in the XP lane, this Wanwan in the hands of Brands as well is ahead, which is not a good sign.
Absolute disaster as far as the laning phase is concerned. And look at the babysit coming in, but on the other side of the map, That is Taz. I mean, Psychos just making a very aggressive play. It almost pays out in a kill. Unfortunately, not just yet. They're just pushing the tempo again and again. And Argentina, which lane are they supposed to make plays in? Because at every moment, they're getting out-rotated. And Indonesia is just in the bush, just waiting for them to walk in unsuspectingly.
It's absolutely insane right now. 5-2. But Taz jumped in all alone there. Looking for the purple buff, finds it and gets out. No punishment. It's actually going to be Indonesia who looks for the collapse under the tier 2. Real world inflation popped in, but Psychos jumped to the Furious Dive. Now, in the midst of it all, Arrow going to be taken low, but Dreams is still alive with the help of Taz, who jumped in with the final blow. Looking for another kill right now as he jumps out, and he buys enough time for Brands to pick up that top side tier 1. They didn't lose a single member in that dive.
If you thought Argentina completely out-macroed Slovenia yesterday, this is a bit of a repeat because Indonesia is absolutely leagues ahead from Argentina. Unfortunately, Drees was not taken out, and due to him being so low, it baits the rest of the members of Argentina, and Indonesia were able to punish that. And while all that is happening, the fight began without Brands, and doing that, Brands just didn't stay still. Goes for objectives, goes for more farm. And we talked about the 1-1 having a good lane. Brands is having an amazing lane, and in the late game, that cannot be good for the side of Argentina.
6th minute, 4-man dive, 4v5, Arashi. That's what made it super impressive. It wasn't a 5v5, it was a 4v5, and they still got out with the better trade. They still were able to take that purple buff unpunished. They were the ones actually punishing Argentina for stepping into their own jungle.
They are treading the line so carefully. I mean, at any moment, any small misplay can lead to disaster in these very risky plays, but Indonesia is making it happen. That just shows, again, their skill and their class, and right now they are in the sides, in the wings, waiting for an opportunity. Side cuts always being so crafty in the positioning game, but look at that.
Jotun has the quad shadow, gets out, but it's going to be chunked by Hijume, who follows him under the turret with the black shoes, gets out. Real world inflation popped in, but that's going to be Tatu, who targets him down with the final blow, forcing the flicker out. Dreams taken down in the back lines by Papa Dog as he jumps into the demonic force. Hijume falls as well. Indonesia, too over aggressive, finally punished here by Argentina, but Brands is looking for the crossbow attack. Pops in the end against Papa Dog, who gets the safety with the guiding wind. Taz still looking for a Psychos with the Black Dragon form now, still going for this fight. It's a 3v5, but Indonesia still are able to push Argentina back, but it does not change the fact that Argentina were able to find another 2 kills.
They get another 2 kills, but we talk about the wave pressure again and again. You guys at home are probably so bored of hearing about it, but the bottom side, the minions have taken 1 more turret for Indonesia. You take a look at the items here, 4 Brands, Corrosion Scythe, having the Demon Hunter Sword as well. These thicker, tankier members on the side of Argentina are going to be suffering from that percentage HP damage from the Demon Hunter Sword, and it's only going to get worse from here on. That is 2 core items for 1-1.
That's really not what Argentina won.
It's the reverse.
1-1 with the Demon Hunter Sword, with the Corrosion Scythe so early on, and now I do believe he is building towards the Windtalker, which is going to be, again, that countermeasure for Brands to go up against the Phobias. When you start to have more attack speed, and when you start to be able to actually dash faster than the Demonic Force, that's when Wanwan can actually somewhat counter the Phobias. Taz is all alone, and he actually baits the entire team, baits some resources as well for Psychos. Goes over the Black Dragon form, petrifying Jotun. And just like that, that's the jungler taken out. That's also Meteoro who falls in the mid lane to Brands. Papa Dog isolated, zoned away from the rest of his team as he'll be stunned up and he will be slain up in the top side.
Look at Brands.
3-0. Brands pushing in the mid lane without a care.
He is alone. He is staring 2 members of Argentina in the face. It doesn't matter. He is so ahead right now. He has that confidence in the mechanical skill. And look at that. He's behind the turret. That is, you're not supposed to do that as a marksman, but Brands doesn't care, I guess, as Indonesia wrestles away the control in the jungle from Argentina. But look at that right now. They're just sieging the base as much as possible, and the base turret passive has popped.
I can speak based on experience that On the 1-1, if you're snowballed, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So we'll see once again. Psychots wants to do whatever he wants as well with the Black Dragon form, just penetrating into that base, zoning 4 members away from the base turret. As Brands and Hijume just sieges it down. Taz now a little blade as the Numenal Blast cancelled out, but he flickers forward, getting the damage and the stun onto Meteoro, who's forced to flicker back out again. Taz now under the turret range, forced to back away. Shadow Kill popped in, won't be able to find enough damage to take anyone down. That's another resource, the real world manipulation by Meteoro to defend. 10 minutes in, Indonesia have cracked 1 base turret and are looking for the second in the mid lane. Arashi, it's looking grim. It's gonna be Hijume who jumps back with Black Shoes. Demonic Force popped in by Papa Dog. And they do not want to stop.
They just have the superior siege right now. They're going for damage on the members of Argentina and also the base turrets, but they're going again.
Papa Dog looking for the play, but it is just going to give Brands enough weakness points to pop that crossbow of Tang. Erwin low, forced to recall, and Indonesia are looking for the end. 2-0. Psychots jumps in again with that signature Petrify on 3. Finds a double before they end the game. 2-0 Indonesia.